it's Clay. Welcome to another League of Legends video, and I wanted to do a quick little video explaining the 3 new support items and when and which you should buy on which types of supports. I've played a couple games on support and have very much been enjoying the new items and the new changes that they've made to support. I feel like supports are getting a very sizable increase in gold, not necessarily to the point where they can equal or surpass solo laners, but to the point where they're actually very relevant in terms of itemization. And it's just a mixture of things. And not only do you have these new gold generating items that allow you to generate gold in a very useful way, just by doing good support things, but you're also getting more gold for assists. You're also getting more bonus gold if you're kind of near the area clearing out objectives. So all of these things are kind of coming together to create a place where, and also, not only that, but you're not spending money on as many consumables, because there is no Oracle's Elixir to buy. You can only have 3 wards on the map, so once you buy your Sightstone, you're done buying wards. So your consumable, expenditures have become very, very low. Really, you would only buy a pink ward every once in a while, and even that is kind of a situational thing. So support's getting a lot of extra gold in my... I think I played a Thresh game last night, and it was a moderately long game. We reached a late game of sorts, maybe 30 or 40 minutes, and I had Sunfire, Warmogs, Spirit Visage, and then I had the Relic Shield and the upgrade, whatever it is, the Face of the Mountain, I think, and I had my Sightstone, I had Merc Treads. I was a 4k HP, 200 armor, 150 magic resist tank. It was pretty fun, so I'm really enjoying the new changes. But anyways, let's get into the items and kind of go from there. So let's start with the Ancient Coin. I really, first of all, like that you can start the game with one of these items. I think that's really cool. But Ancient Coin is kind of the direct replacement for Philosopher's Stone. It gives you, let's go back. It gives you a health regen and mana regen, which is very standard and straightforward. And then the unique passive is probably the easiest to use. It just grants you gold for anytime an ally kills a minion near you. So very straightforward, and this has a very solid upgrade path. It's got one of the best, completed in the end. One also thing to note is that you can only pick one. They do not stack, as well as with the jungle items. So you're not allowed to buy more than one. So I would say this is, if you're new, if you don't play much support, this is probably the best one to use. It has the easiest passive. You just simply don't last hit. You just have to stand near your AD carry while they're last hitting, and then you gain quite a bit of bonus gold that way. Yeah, this one's probably the easiest to use, but it does have fairly weak stats, like health and mana regen. It doesn't really help you in a fight, so keep that in mind, but the passive is very easy to use. So the upgrade, Nomad's Medallion, gives you more health regen and mana regen, and it also starts to give you just a tick of gold per 10, 2 gold per 10, and then it increases the amount of gold that you're getting from the passive when minions are killed near you. So just kind of an increased version. But then the big jump is when you go to this Talisman Ascension. This is kind of like a renamed Sherelia's Reverie. I don't really know why they changed that. But anyways, it gives you 20% CDR, which is very sizable. It gives you a massive health and mana regen, 10 health regen, 15 mana regen. You keep the 2 gold per 10. And you keep the passive from the last one, but then you gain the active from Sherelia's Reverie, which grants all your allies a massive movement speed boost. So this item is really attractive because it gives 20% CDR. It gives also the active with the movement speed. So this is just a very strong all-around gold per 10 item. Almost any support can make good use of 20 cooldown reduction, 20% CDR, and the active is good for any team. So this is just a very standard support item. It's good. You could build this on just about any of the supports. It's just a very strong, solid item all the way around. So yeah, it's hard to not recommend it because it's just a very good item. So then Spell Thief's Edge. This is kind of more of your AP focused support item. So let's get into its stats. You get 10 ability power at rank 1, which is kind of nice. And then you get 3 mana regen, also very nice for spellcasters, and then 2 gold per 10. So this, I think, this one does not have passive gold per 10. It just gives you the I'm sorry, it does not have gold per 10 in its stats, but it just has the passive that gives you gold. But then this one also has another passive where your basic attacks against champions generate 4 gold once every 10 seconds per enemy. And then killing a minion will disable the passive. So, and this is only attributed to one champion at a time. So you can actually, if you continually try and poke and basic attack at both the enemy AD carry and support, you have different cooldowns for each of those champions. So basically, this one has the potential for granting the most gold, I think, if my calculations are correct, because you get gold per 10 from the stats. This one doesn't give you gold per 10. But then this one also gives you gold for harassing your opponent. So if you're playing a support with long auto attack range where harassing is very easy, like Annie or Zyra or Janna, some of these supports with longer auto attack range, this becomes a very strong item because you're getting gold for harassing, which is something you should be doing anyways. So yeah, on someone like support Annie, this would be an ideal choice. Very, very strong. It upgrades into Frostfang, gives you even more ability power, even more mana regen, and even more gold per 10. So you went from 10 to 20 AP, 5 to 7 mana regen, and 2 to 4 gold per 10. And then the passive gets even better. You're getting 8 gold now instead of 4. So again, just improving the stats all the way around. And then the final upgrade, Frost Queen's Claim, you're getting 50 AP, which is fairly sizable, 10 mana regen, again, fairly sizable. You keep the 4 gold per 10. The passive stays the same with 8. But this time it's spells. Does this one have spells? Yes. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention, when you go to Frostfang, it not only is basic attack, but also spells. So upgrading this right away on someone like Annie or even like Lulu, champions that are going to be harassing with not only basic attacks, but spells, this is also going to be a very strong choice. I forgot to mention that. But then this one has an active that you will target your opponent, and it will deal magic damage and reduce their movement speed. It looks like it's an AoE as well for 2 seconds. So I actually think that this active is the weakest of the 3 active components. So really, I think that the reason you would get Frost Queen's Claim is for the potential gold generation. If you are a fairly skilled support and you know how to harass effectively, this item will be able to grant you a metric truckload of gold. It gives you gold per 10, and it gives you a very strong. If you can get this 8 gold every 10 seconds on both enemies, that's 16 gold every 10 seconds. That's going to add up very, very quickly. So you definitely want to make sure you're trying to, take advantage of this. If you buy this item, you need to be harassing. Alrighty. So then our third item is the Relic Shield. This item, I think, is the best of the 3, and I think that the way it works now, it's actually fairly broken. And I watched an NACL game last night where the entire team bought a Relic Shield at level 1. I think it was against Curse. I don't remember who it was. But their entire team bought a Relic Shield, and I'll explain why. This item has the potential to be very broken. And I think it's the best. This is the one that I bought on that Thresh game, and I got a ton of gold from it, and I also felt like it was an extremely powerful item. So anyways, at level 1, you're getting 50 health, which is really nice. This is definitely geared more towards tanky supports, like Taric, Thresh, Leona, Alistar. Those come to mind. So you get 50 health, and you get 6 health regen per 5. So it already kind of allows you to be very stout and sturdy right from level 1. And then in the passive component, basically what will happen is you will have orbs that start spinning around you. There are 2 charges at this rank of this item. You get 2 charges, so these little blue orbs will start to spin around you. And when the orbs are spinning around you, it would be to your benefit to last hit minions. And then when you last hit, it will consume one of those charges. And then what happens is you get the gold from last hit, and then your AD carry will get healed equal to 2% of your maximum health, and they will grant the same amount of gold plus 5. So basically when you're buying this item, or when you see your support buy this item, you want to allow them to last hit. Now it's very easy for them because their basic attacks will execute minions below 200 health. So like generally early on in the game, AD carries have maybe 100-ish AD at like level 3. So they're not going to be able to last hit as successfully as you. So especially like when you're pushed under tower, this is also a really good time to use this item if you're getting pushed in hard in a difficult lane. This can really be to your benefit to last hit the minions, it'll heal your ally, and it will give both of you gold. So it's not as if you're sacrifice anything. If you're playing AD carry and your support gets this item, you want your support to get last hits because you actually get more gold from them getting the last hit than from you getting the last hit. So very, very powerful and strong. And I believe that the reason behind other people getting this item is because if at any point there's someone else in your lane, you want to be sharing last hits because you basically get double the gold from one last. So you know, the old reason why you only send one person to a lane, like why we have solo laners, is because you don't want people fighting for last hits because it splits the gold. But basically, Relic Shield totally like negates that to the point where you're getting double gold potentially from a lot of the minions. So if you're playing in the jungle, this actually is a fair choice. Now, keep in mind, if you buy this item, you cannot buy like Spirit of the Ancient Golem or any of the other jungle items because those are also counted as gold items, so that's kind of how that is kept in check. So you can get like your Hunter's Machete and upgrade it into the Spirit Stone, but then you can't go past that. So keep that in mind. There are trade-offs. But this is very powerful because if at any time you go into lane and you've got a couple of charges, you can just lane tax for 2 minions and then get a ton of gold for both you and your laner. So very, very powerful item. Let's go to the upgrade. Targon's Embrace. You get even more health. So 175 health is very nice. 12 health regen, very significant. So again, very much benefiting melee supports who are, previously had a hard time getting tanky. They had a hard time shrugging off ranged harass. Well, these stats are going to really, really help you with that. Especially someone like Leona. She scales really well with health. This item is like perfect for her. So then the passive is just improved. So you get, instead of kill plus 5, you get kill plus 10. And at this point, you get 4 charges. So keep in mind the little blue orbs that spin around your support, you get 4 charges. So if you go and fight or do dragon or something like that, you go back to lane, you'll have 4 charges. And then you want your support to take last hits whenever those charges are up. You could potentially just, in my mind, I'm thinking about this more in terms of the gold, because even if you're at max health, you're not taking advantage of the health heal, or the health regen, or whatever it is. But I think that just the gold splitting alone makes this item worth it. So definitely take advantage of that whenever you have the orbs spinning around you. And then lastly, the Face of the Mountain is the full upgrade. You get 375 health, 10% cooldown reduction, and 25 health regen per 5. So very, very beefy, good stats here. These stats alone are very, very good for any of the tankier supports. The passive is unchanged. Again, kill plus 10 and maximum of 4 charges. And then the active component is what you get now. You consume 20% of your current health as a shield for a target ally for 10% of your maximum health for 4 seconds. After 4 seconds, the target explodes, dealing 10% of your maximum health as magic damage in an area. So I kind of see this as being like a Scion Shield, where although you're, instead of costing mana, you're consuming some of your health to give a shield to your ally, and then it's going to explode and deal damage, dealing 10% of your maximum health as magic damage in an area. So this active is actually very, very strong. It helps you peel. You can put it on your AD carry when they get jumped on. They're going to be tankier. They're going to even deal damage back in return. Very, very powerful. So overall, this item is extremely good, especially on supports that can take advantage of these tankier stats. And the gold generation seems very, very strong as well. So if you wanted to play someone like I said, Taric or Leona, or even expand it into somebody like Nautilus, Jarvan, Volibear, some of these tankier champions that have never worked as supports because they don't get enough tanky stats to really function, well now, like I said in that Thresh game where I bought this Face of the Mountain, I ended up getting Warmogs and Sunfire Cape. I got, on top of my support items, I was very, very tanky. And so, Warmogs, Randuin, Sunfire Cape works really, really well because then the active component gets even better with all the health you have. And then once you kind of start doing well in lane, it is actually to your benefit to spend time roaming around the map, becoming almost like a second jungler and ganking lanes and helping them farm using the Spoils of War passive to get extra gold. So very strong. So overall, I think that these new items are really cool. Again, the Ancient Coin is the most straightforward and I guess easiest one to use. The gold generation is very easy. You just play support like you normally would, and then in the end you get that really nice 20% CDR and then nice Cerelia's active. So very good all-around support item if you're not really confident in what you're doing. The Stealth Thief's Edge is more of the AP focused, and it very much incentivizes harassing. So AP focused, long range harassing style champions. I could see this being really good on Annie, Zyra, maybe even Fiddlesticks. Any sort of mage that you want to take to bottom lane, even like a support Orianna, something like that. This could be really beneficial. And then the Relic Shield is kind of more for your tanky supports, and it has the very interesting where you take last hits, but then your ally gets even more gold, and in the end, you're getting really tanky stats, and you're getting the really nice active shield. So, anyways, that's kind of my quick run through on the support items. I actually think that right now in its current state, this Relic Shield is broken, and I think it will be tweaked. Just because the passive is so good, and it has the potential to be kind of game breaking. Where, I think in large part these, and like Spell Thief's Edge, like why wouldn't you get this item? I also kind of wonder if you would get this item on a laner. Like this seems like a pretty good item, 50 AP, 10 mana regen, and you get gold for harassing. So I don't know. Some of I feel like these items. In Ancient Coin really doesn't make sense on anybody but support. But these other two, I think, have the potential to be strong on other champs as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts below down in the comments section about these support items. And if you're new around here, feel free to rate and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.